Hey everybody, Sharon here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in DKO going for the Penta-Ultimate achievement. This is to throw out 5 ultimates in the same match. Highly recommend doing this with a boosting partner or friend in a custom 1v1 game, so make sure you set that up and then invite your friend who's going to help out. I highly recommend you set this up in a map that doesn't have a ton of environmental hazards and has a wall you can take advantage of, so something like Bastion Bash. Then just make sure you get into the game. What you want to do to build up your ultimate is keep an eye on it. It's going to be your right trigger attack. It's going to build up slowly over time. However, you can build it up faster by throwing out attacks or getting attacked yourself. So make sure you and your boosting partner slash friend find a wall or something. And what you want to do is want to make sure you smack them into the wall until you build up your ultimate. Now, the key to getting 5 in a game is to try to keep the game going as long as possible, which means not having anyone knock each other out. So my best advice is to just make sure you do quick attacks against the wall. Just make sure you do your regular attacks and make sure they don't end up stringing into a combo. So the best way of doing this is to basically just put your friend slash boosting partner between you and a wall, and then just make sure you land 2 quick attacks in on them towards the wall. And then as soon as the second attack lands, what you want to do is want to make sure you back off, reset to a neutral position, and then just keep throwing these attacks in and out. Basically, what you want to do is you want to make sure you avoid throwing out a third attack, because what's going to happen is you're going to string into a combo. And if you throw out a combo on someone who has a really high damage percentage on them, you are going to run the risk of accidentally knocking them out, which obviously we are trying to avoid doing because we want to keep the game going as long as possible. Now, games can either be best of 3 or best of 5, depending on how you set them up. So we are going to have a total of 5 or 7 rounds to work on this. So make sure you don't worry too much about accidentally knocking someone out, as you are going to have quite a few rounds to work on this. So thankfully there is going to be a room for a margin of error. So on to actually using the ultimate. The ultimate is going to be your rightmost ability in your little special bar down at the bottom. It's going to be the thing that's going to tick up to 100%. Once you build it up to 100%, you are going to throw it out with right trigger. Thankfully for this achievement, it does not have to connect with the opponent. So even if you hit nothing but air, it's going to count as your 5. That being said, once you build it up to 100%, make sure you throw it away from your opponent so you don't run the risk of accidentally knocking them out and you can further prolong the game. So getting 5 should be relatively easy as long as you're keeping up on the strategies. Make sure you are going in and out with basic attacks on your opponents to build it up. You can have them attack you as well, which is going to help out a bit. And then once you do build it up, just make sure you throw it away from them. And then once you get to your 5 in one game, you should be good for the achievement. So just make sure you just keep it up. This one's going to be a little bit on the grindy side. Just take it nice and slow and steady, and then eventually you should get your 5 ultimates in no time. Each of the rounds is going to have a time limit, so you're going to have to work within that window. However, the timer is going to set at the start of every new round, so thankfully that's always going to be super useful. And your damage is also going to reset at the start of every single round. So if the damage is getting too high and you need a fresh slate, just make sure you try to end the round. Try to keep the game tied as long as possible so you don't accidentally have someone win, as once someone does win, you are going to have the game end, and if you don't have your 5 by then, you won't be able to get the achievement, and you are going to have to start over. But you should be able to get the 5. Again, there is going to be a ton of room here to land even more than 5. But once you do get your 5th ultimate off, you should be good for the achievement. Now, once you do get your 5 in, you are going to have to finish the match in order to get the achievement to unlock, just like most of the achievements in this game. So just wrap up, and then once someone does win, you should be good for the achievement once you hit the results screen. There it is, 140 gamer score. And that's all there is to it.